So we're going to discuss part 3 of solving linear word problems. But at this particular point, you should know that, let me get back to it. It just popped out of it. Hold on, guys. All right, so we discussed slope and y-intercept. We discussed ax plus by equals to c, the standard form when you got thing 1 and thing 2. All right, now we're going to go to point slope form. And I'm going to write point slope form down. Point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals to m times x minus x sub 1. So in this particular case, you have a point and slope, hence point slope form. So it says when the problem gives you a sample point, that's your x sub 1 and y sub 1, and a rate of change, your slope, which is m, okay? So let's take a look at number 9. I'll show you how to do these. They're very easy. You just have to do a little more work to solve them, all right? So it says at Eagle Bay, it costs $10 per hour. So because it has a unit rate in it, I know that M is my slope. Your unit rate is your slope, $10 per hour. It costs $10 per hour to rent a canoe, okay? And then it goes on to say Nick and his friends rented a canoe for 3 hours and paid $45. So what that does, it gives you an X and a Y. And we all know that the cost depends on the number of hours. So cost is your Y and the number of hours is your X. But it's pretty much set up for you. 3 hours is your X, paid $45. It's normally set up with X before Y, even in a word problem, okay? If it's not, just make sure you put your dependent variables Y and your independent variables X. All right, again, I know that cost depends on hours, so that's dependent and that's independent. So it's easy to set up my point, my X sub 1 and my Y sub 1. It says write and solve a linear equation to find the cost to rent the canoe for 8 hours. Okay, so I can already tell you here, because it has hours for 8, and I've already determined that my hours is my X. I know 8 is going to be an X value when I get ready to plug it in, which means I'll be solving for a Y. But let me write the equation first. Y minus y sub 1 equals to m times x minus x sub 1. So we're going to end up with y minus 45 equals to 10 times x minus 3. And then you just distribute and solve this thing for y. Distribute gives you 10x minus 30. So I just need a little more room. To get rid of the negative 45, you just add it to both sides. So you're going to end up with y equals to 10x plus 15 for the equation. Okay, that's your equation. But again, you're going to have to plug in an x of 8 hours. And I'm just going to reiterate, I know that 8 is an x because cost depends on hours. So cost is your y, and the number of hours would be an x, okay? So I need a little more room, so I'm going to erase some of this stuff. Make sure you pause the video and get this stuff written down before I erase it, okay? All right, so here's your equation. Y equals to 10x plus 15. X is equal to 8 hours. So you just take out x and replace it with 8. 10 times 8 plus 15. 10 times 8 is 80. And 80 plus 15 is 95. So to rent it for 8 hours, you have to pay $95. All right, let's take a look at number 10. It says the construction company charges $15 per hour for debris removal, plus a one-time fee for the use of trash dumpster. For the use of the trash dumpster. So this $15 per hour is what they're charging. So I already know that's M. It's got per each. Those rate statements represent your unit rate or your rate of change, which is the same as your slope. So I know that's going to be 15 per hour, $15 per hour. That's my slope. And now I just need a point, okay? It says the total fee for 9 hours of service was $195. Well, again, cost depends on hours. Cost is Y and hours is X. So I know when I set up 9, it's X of 1. When I set up that point, the ordered pair or coordinate, that that 9 is my X of 1. And 195 is my Y sub 1. So for my equation, I just plug in Y minus 195, because we're using point and the slope, equals to 15 times X minus 9, and I solve for Y. We're going to use the distributive property first. It's going to be 15X minus 135. Add 195 to both sides. So Y equals to 15X plus 60. So now it goes on the final question says, solve a linear equation to find the one-time fee for the trash dumpster. Okay. I already wrote it, so I didn't put this part again. I already wrote the equation. That's part here. But now I need to solve it to find the one-time fee for the trash dumpster. All right, that one-time fee is your y-intercept, guys. You don't really do any work. Okay, so all you do is look at your y-intercept here. That one-time fee is $60. That's what you have to pay no matter what, okay? So you pay that fee no matter what, and you pay it one time. So that one-time fee is $60. I can look at the equation because that one-time fee again is B. It represents B. It's my one-time fee. Or you could plug in an X of 0 hours because you pay that one-time fee even before you have any hours. So I could do this. I could say Y equals to 15 times 0 plus 60. Anything times 0 is 0. So Y equals to $60. That's what you pay initially, guys. That's your initial value. Let's look at 11. 11 says a company offers premium cable for $39.95 per month, plus a one-time setup fee. This again is B. Okay. This is M. You may not need B like you did up here, because if it said $15 per hour plus a one-time fee, this was B, but you needed B because it asked you for the one-time fee. So that's why you needed. That was a short way to solve it, is to just locate B. But here we may not need it. We'll see. If it asks us for the one-time setup fee, we'll just look at what our B is, okay? But I already know that this is my slope. So this is cost per month, or I can say the cost depends on the number of months. So I know this is Y and this is X. Let's go and look for a point. It says the total cost for a setup for 6 months was $264.70. So the months is my X. I'm going to put 6 in X as X of 1. And then $264.70 is going to be my Y sub 1. Then I do is write the equation Y minus $264.70 equals to $39.95 times X minus 6. And I just use the distributive property and solve for Y. It's going to be $39.95X I'm going to multiply $39.95 times negative 6. And I get negative $239.70. I'm going to add $264.70 to both sides. And again, make sure you're pausing the video and taking notes. Writing it down. So y is going to equal to $39.95 x. And over here, it's going to equal to just 25 plus 25. Okay, but now let's see what they're asking for. So we've written the equation, but then it says to go on and solve it for the total cost for a service for 2 years. So it's not asking us for the one-time setup fee. We're not looking for B. Let's find the total cost. So we're looking for cost. We're looking for Y, which means they must have given us X. Well, did they give us X? It says for 2 years, but X is the number of months. So what I want to do is change 2 years. I'm automatically giving you the answer. You're going to change 2 years to 24 months because your X is in terms of months. So I'm going to use this equation, but I'm going to use an X of 24, not an X of 2. And I need to not just go down here and do it. I'll erase it in a minute. So now I'm using an X of 24. So we're going to end up with Y equals to 39.95 times 24 plus the 25. So let's do 39.95 times 24. And we get $958.80. We're going to add to it the $25. It gives us a total cost of $983.80. So if you rent that service for 24 months, the cost to you will be $983.80. Make sure you pause the video and take notes, guys. I'm about to erase in just a minute. All right, let me erase it. Let's look at the last one we're going to look at for point slope, which is 12. It says a home security company provides security systems for $5 per week. I already know that's M. Plus an installation fee. I already know that's B. Now, if it asks me for the installation fee, I can just look for B. I just see what my B is and then write it. I don't have to plug in a number. It says the total fee for 12 weeks of service is $210. Well, I know it's $5 per week, so it's cost per week. So cost is like your Y and the week is like your X. Or you can say cost depends on the number of weeks. So I know M has that per in it. That's $5 per week. It's my unit rate, guys, which is the same as my slope or rate of change. And then my point is 12 weeks is X, okay? And then 210 is Y sub 1. So I just write the equation Y minus 12 equals to 5 times X. And it's not Y minus 12, it's Y minus 210. Sorry. Equals to 5 times X minus 12. So you have Y minus 210 equals to 5X minus 60. You're going to add 210 to both sides. So Y equals to 5X plus 150. Okay, so this is the equation. So I've already written the equation. Let's see what it's asking us to solve. It says solve a linear equation to find the cost of installation of the installation fee. Well, up here it says plus the installation fee, which is B. So I know if I can just look at the equation, I can get the cost of the installation fee. Well, B is 150. So I know the cost of the installation fee is $150. That's the answer to my question because it said B is the installation fee and it asked for the installation fee. So just find B. But if you don't know that, then you can plug in an X of 0 because the installation fee is paid before any months of service. You pay that off the top. So that's even at 0 months. So you have y equals to 5x plus 150, which is y equals to 5 times 0 plus 150. And anything times 0 is 0. So I can see even if I put in 0 months, my installation fee is $150. All right, now with that being said, what you're going to do for the remainder of the class period is you're going to go back over to the classwork tab, and you're going to look under the week of April the 12th, and you're going to see homework, point slope form, but you're only going to complete 1 through 3, guys. Okay, that's it. Just 1 through 3. All right, and that's all I'm asking. Thank you.